Hi everyone, I'm Hayley. I'm always in the craft room, and you can tell that this week I have finished my Marilla Walker Maya top in the animal print. I'm so pleased to have it done. I absolutely love it. I will insert footage of me modelling it, but there's a little quick peek. I absolutely love it, and it's not too short. There's my jeans button. It's fine, because if you have been following along, you will have seen on my previous Friday sews that I made this from a remnant. And it really was. It might even have been a remnant of a remnant, because it was literally, however tall this is, from hem to shoulder seam, that was the width of fabric I had. And I'm so glad to have made this out of it. I really, really love it. So I've actually made this pattern twice before. I'm afraid it looks like it's no longer available, but it's really similar to the Handsy tee from Seamwork Patterns if you are looking for a woven tee. So the first one I made was in this white Dobby cotton, and you can see that in a cotton it really looks quite different. It's quite a boxy fit. On this one I did French seams, and then I made a second one in this black silk. I don't know if it's going to pick up the texture. It's definitely picking up all the fluff on it. But it is an absolutely gorgeous kind of woven stripe silk that I got from Stone Fabric quite a few years ago. Early in my sewing career, when somehow I thought I was experienced enough to sew with silk, but did not know what I did not know, and I didn't realise how narrow silk was on a roll. So I ordered what I thought was enough to make this into a lined black sheath dress for work back when I was office based. And honestly, this fabric is beautiful. It would have made a lovely sheath dress. But of course, it arrived and it was super narrow, so I didn't have enough. So I turned it into the Marilla Walker tee. I will say, of these two, I wear the white one loads. It's so handy in the summer. It goes with everything. I really love it. The black one, even though I really like it, I don't wear it that much. And it's just because it's a summer weight fabric. It's a summery top, but I just don't like wearing black in the summer. So I don't reach for it that much, but I do still wear it sometimes. This one has come out quite different because it's in a drapey, tightly woven polyester. I did think French seams would be the correct treatment for it, but I didn't want to do them because it's just a horrible fabric, to be honest. It doesn't really take a press. So as I described the other week, I started with it right sides out, overlocked, flipped it wrong sides out, and then sewed. So I did a kind of French seam, but using the overlocker. And I think that has given a really good, secure, neat internal finish. And I'm really pleased with it. The sleeves, I literally just overlocked and turned. If you watched last week's Friday sews, you might have heard me talking about doing some samples on the hem of this. So I did a rolled hem sample on my overlocker to see whether I liked it. And the last thing I said was, and I mustn't forget to change my overlocker settings back from a rolled hem to a normal stitch. What did I do? I forgot. So when I set off just running this through the overlocker to finish the edge, it started doing a rolled hem again. That happened to me like 2 weeks ago, if you recall. When will I learn? Apparently never. Anyway, I spotted it really quick this time. So at least I only had like 3 centimeters to unpick. The hem, I actually did a rolled hem using my rolled hem foot on my sewing machine. And I talked a bit about this last week. And it was one of those situations where I'm so thankful for this vlog because I basically answered my own question. And as I was talking it all through with you, I came to the conclusion that yes, I should just do a rolled hem using my sewing machine rolled hem foot on the front and on the back, leaving the side seams free. Because I don't know about your rolled hem foot, but mine cannot handle a seam. Nope. So I did it along the straight front, I did it along the straight bit at the back, and then I hand sewed, I tucked it, rolled it, hand basted it, and then top stitched it from the right side just over the side seams, and then pulled the basting stitches out, and it's worked brilliantly. You cannot tell it wasn't all done in one. But you know what? Let's hope that next time I do remember to just do a rolled hem in the flat before I do side seams, because that took me like an hour, and it was an hour I needn't have spent. I don't know what is going on with my hair here. Sorry, I'm distracted. I wasted an hour on it basically, and I could have just been getting on with something else. So that annoyed me, but I'm very happy with the finish. I thought I was going to tuck it in, and in the modelled footage, I have shown it out and in for you. I think I'm actually just going to wear it like this. It's turned out by pure fluke the perfect length. I've also just remembered I didn't tell you about the neckline. This top is supposed to be faced. I'm not a fan of the facings. I actually did it on the black one. I know. But on this one, I did a bias strip, doubled, pressed right side out, applied all the way around, turned, top stitched. And I did it in some leftover ivory silk satin that was an old dressing gown. I would show you, but I don't want to touch the microphone. Maybe I'm going to show you and mute this bit. So this silence coming is intentional. Bear with. Looks good, no? So what else have I been up to this week? Nothing sewing wise, but I have got some plans for next week, and I'm afraid the first two are really boring. My summer dressing gown is now ready to be put away. We don't need it anymore here in the UK, but the side seam split is much more of a split than it ought to be. It's showing a bit too much leg, so I need to get that fixed. The other thing I need to fix, and this one is really annoying, you might remember from one of my older videos, I made a sofa cushion for our lounge sofa, and I made it from this gorgeous cow parsley print. Now, I originally did it with an invisible zip because I've got young kids and I thought I might need to take it off and wash it. Of course, I did need to take it off and wash it, because about 2 hours after I finished sewing this, the kids came home from school, and this is the only time this has ever happened, and it was on a brand new cushion. They had paint on them that hadn't dried from an art lesson. They went and hugged the new cushion because they loved it so much and got paint all over it. Anyway, I spot cleaned it, and you might be able to see where it was. It basically rubbed the design off a little bit. It's not that bad. You probably wouldn't notice if I hadn't told you. I know where it is, but you know what? It kind of just makes me smile and giggle, and it's two-sided anyway, so we'll flip it. But what it did teach me was there's no need for it to have a zip in it, because there's no way this would stand up to the wash. Well, about 2 weeks ago, fate intervened and the zip burst. The cushion that was in this was a really plump feather pillow, and the instructions I used for making it were from a DK book, which said to cut the pieces the size of the pillow, allowing no seam allowances, so that you get a really nice firm plump stuffed pillow. And I do love the way it looked, but yeah, the invisible zip was not up to the job. So I've unpicked the invisible zip. I don't think I should have opened up that side, but I did, so I'm going to have to re-sew down the piping. Then I'm going to put the cushion in, and then I'm just going to hand sew it closed, and it is what it is. If it gets ruined, oh well, never mind. I can sew. I have some more of the fabric, and funnily enough, when I was in London last week and I called into McCulloch and Wallace, I saw a whole bolt of this fabric, so it's even still available. That's it for the sewing update this week. I will be back with hopefully a lot more sewing next week, and I will tell you why now if you are interested in a little life YouTube update. If you're not, thanks so much for following along, and I'll see you next week. If you did see the video that I released just this week gone and you're interested, I wanted to give you a quick update on the YouTube thing. So As you may know, I got monetized on Saturday. Today is Friday, and I've been feverishly refreshing my app ever since because, as I explained in that video, I had no clue and no way of finding out whether in a week, as has just gone, I would make pence, pounds, hundreds of pounds, thousands of pounds, millions of pounds. There was just no info out there. So these figures are provisional, but I am pleased to report in the week just gone, it wasn't pence, it wasn't hundreds of pounds either, but it was enough to buy the world's smallest bottle of fizz to celebrate with. So look, it wasn't pence, it's not tens of pounds either, but you know what? We've got three things on our side. So the first is time. I'm not even going to find out about my job situation for another 3 months. And 3 months ago, I was nowhere near this. I had like 500 subscribers. Monetization looked a long way off. So who knows what can happen in 3 months. The second thing that we've got going for us is my work ethic. Now, I am going to add a little caveat. If you ask me to clean the bathroom, there's a million other things I've got to do first. I'm sorry, I'm a busy lady. I'm never getting around to it. If you ask me to start a YouTube channel, I'm there. I will put in the hours. I will do the research. I will make the videos. I will learn to edit them. I'm enjoying it so much. So, yeah, I'm prepared to put the work and the effort in. Who knows where we can go in 3 months? But the point is, if it had been pence, then I could have put the time and the effort in. We could have doubled or tripled the audience, and it still would have been pence. So I'm glad we've ruled that out. We've got proof of concept. And the third thing we've got going for us, you thought I was going to say you, didn't you? My lovely audience. No, it's not that kind of channel. The third thing we've got going for us is my unbridled, ridiculous love of sewing. I literally could talk about this all day long. And I was slightly worried that in trying to monetize a hobby, it might have taken the fun out of it. And I can tell you 100% that is not true of this endeavor. Now, if I was taking in alterations or making curtains, 100% yes, that would have happened. But actually, making stuff and telling you about it is increasing my joy of sewing because it's so wonderful to have people to share the details with. I don't know if you might be the same, but when I finish something new, and this came off the sewing machine 17 minutes ago, I'm just desperate to tell someone about it. And I always go and find my husband and go, oh, look at my new top. And he's like, oh, it's lovely, well done. Yeah, it's really nice. And I'm like, but no, I did French seams. And the look on his face is similar to the look on my face when he tells me his chainsaw started with one pull. I'm like, I'm pleased for you. But you lot get it. You know, when I say I did French seams, that is more effort, but a more robust end result. You get it. And I'm loving sharing it with you all. Thank you to everyone who left such kind comments. It sounds like a good portion of you were not interested at all, which is fine. Thanks so much for just clicking away and going and watching something else. Amazing. And the ones who were interested seem to be fascinated by that behind the scenes workings, which I am too. So I totally get it. Even if you're not interested in starting a channel, it's just something interesting to hear about, isn't it? So on the life front, oh my goodness, it's been honestly one of the most intense weeks of my entire life. I had a massive work project due today, which is done. Yay! My husband, who is self-employed, started a new contract this week, so that has been taking up a lot of time. We've had things on at school in the evenings and after school activities, and if you know me in real life, you'll know I'm a big proponent of lots of unstructured play for kids. I'm not big into the extracurricular activities and overscheduling either the kids or us as a family. So it's just been a really intense week. And add to that the YouTube monetization. It's been mad but wonderful. So all that said, you can tell my voice is hoarse. I spoke to my boss this afternoon, told him I'd completed my work project. He was very thankful and said I could have next week off. So Monday, I plan to sit in silence and stare at a blank wall. Tuesday, I'll probably be bored and back in the craft room, and I'm raring to go with all my autumn plans. The fabric is over there looking at me. I just need to get cutting out, get making some stuff, and I absolutely cannot wait for basically a week in the sewing room, and I have got a dentist appointment as well. But, you know, it's still going to be a nice week. Right, that really is it from me now. I hope to see you next week, and I hope to have a lot of new things to show you. Bye.